So Tasha K is basically putting in her appeal with the whole Cardi B lawsuit. And she's basically saying that she doesn't want to pay it because Cardi B is a gang member. I don't even know what to say anymore. This is just embarrassing. But let's talk about it, shall we? Hey everyone, good morning. It's your girl, Miss Local. I'm coming to you straight out of NYC on this quiet Sunday morning. So, I want to give a shout out to a YouTuber that I just came across about a couple of weeks ago. Her name is Sweet Pea Diaries. That's her name of her channel. She basically posted with receipts the whole, Tasha K wants the lawsuit to be thrown out that she lost because of Cardi B's character. Now, this woman provided receipts about how Cardi B in the answer, well, not the answer, but in the appeal papers, she basically said that Cardi B is a gang member. And I'm going to get to that later on. But first, I'm going to read from BET, and they wrote an article in their music section on June 2nd, and it reads, YouTuber Tasha K wants Cardi B's $4 million defamation victory thrown out. The YouTube star argues that the jury didn't get to hear evidence about Cardi's character. Tasha K, better known as Tasha K, a popular YouTube personality and gossip blogger, is seeking to get nearly $4 million judgment against her thrown out. Kebi was sued by rapper Cardi B for defamation, invasion of privacy, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The rapper resoundingly won the case in January with more than $2.5 million in damages and another $1.3 million in legal fees. Kebi was ordered to pull the damaging videos down from the internet. However, now the blogger is appealing to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit, claiming that Judge William Ray had erroneously excluded evidence about the rapper and her character, claiming jurors did not get to see who she truly is. The jury heard a very lopsided presentation of evidence, and because they did not get to learn who the plaintiff truly is, the jury returned a general verdict for the plaintiff against both defendants, Kebi's attorneys wrote in the May 27 filing, according to Billboard. And that's Olga, her attorney, that she basically was just ragging and just insulting. So I just want to say that in between the article. At the time, the judge noted that the evidence was prejudicial. However, Kebi and her attorneys maintained that it should have been included in a case that was largely about reputation. Further, Kebi and her attorneys argue that Cardi and her attorneys failed to prove that the popular YouTuber acted with actual malice or lied intentionally with a legal standard. There was no evidence that any of Ms. Kebi's stories about the plaintiff were fabricated by Ms. Kebi, were a product of Ms. Kebi's imagination, were based wholly on an unverified anonymous call, or were so inherently improbable that only a reckless person would have put them in circulation, Kebi's lawyers wrote. On her YouTube channel, Tasha K posted numerous videos about Cardi B, some of which featured information about her life before fame, including alleged sex acts during her performances as a stripper and that she had been a sex worker. Other commentary came after her fame, such as allegations that she cheated on her husband, Migos rapper Offset. Per Billboard, neither Cardi B nor her attorneys have commented on the filing, but are expected to respond to the arguments in the coming weeks. Okay, this is what I am going to say. Tasha K, if you would have reported truthful things about Cardi B, such as her being a gang member, okay, and of a notorious gang at that, and her basically drugging men without their consent, notice of such, and tricking them to sleep with not only you, but transgenders and threesomes, and basically robbing men, if you would have told those stories and only those stories, you wouldn't be in the situation that you're in, okay? The problem with you is that you went from stories that this woman has stated on her lives to basically fabricating a whole bunch of nonsense, and you lied on this woman. You lied on her. That is why you owe $4 million in that defamation lawsuit. You got to pay the $1.3 million in legal fees. You got to pay those lawyers. You're not going to get around that. Also, the $2.5 million to Cardi B, they're probably going to lower that, but you're still going to have to pay. But here's the kicker. If this gets accepted in the appellate court, it's going to be a different outcome. Because, see, here's the thing. Tasha K does have one upper hand on Cardi B. And that is the game. And let me explain this. It is true. The judge only wanted to hear about the slander. Because that's what the central theme of the case is. It was about the slander. Nothing else, nothing more. He didn't care to know about her being a gang member. He didn't care to know about her being anything else. Some people also say that the trial was colorist. In terms of the fact that there were only about maybe 1 or 2 people on the trial that was of color. Everybody else was white. So because Cardi B is Latina, they went totally for Cardi B. And they went against Tasha K because she was a black woman with short hair. And like pronounced features. Which could be true. But Tasha K did this all to herself. So you can't just say, well, Tasha K was this, Tasha K was that. No. She put herself in this situation. And I don't feel bad for her. Not at all. But at the same token, that whole thing with the gang, she does have something to that. Because if the judge didn't allow that evidence in, okay? If the judge didn't allow the evidence of the gangs being, spoken about to where this woman did say that and how the whole situation with her drugging men, which Tasha K did report, and even a whole thing where Cardi B, and this is the whole card, that Cardi B is still subjected to being on trial in New York City for the whole situation where 6ix9ine girlfriend's sister got jumped by the gang with the bottle, and that Cardi B basically set it up, and Cardi B is still facing 2 years if she's convicted. That is the one whole card that Tasha K has. You can say what you want about that. You could say, oh, she don't have that. But yes, she does. Because in the appeals court, they look at everything. And that was a true story. That wasn't a lie. Now, still, Tasha K trying to be slick. She don't want to pay. But newsflash, she got to pay because you lost, Tasha K. Now, my thing with this is that I don't think it's fair that because Tasha K lost, all us YouTubers, we're basically suffering with our views because of Tasha K losing. So what's going on is that all of our videos are not being promoted like they were. If you look at 6 months ago, our videos, uploads, contents, whatever you call it, was being heavily promoted. Since February, March, it's not promoting anymore. That's because of the lawsuit. Because she lost. Had Tasha K won, we'll still be getting promoted. We'll still be getting promoted. But that basically changed. But if that appeal kicks in, which I think is going to be accepted, and Tasha K wins, it's going to change things for us again to where YouTube and the algorithm is going to kick back to where all of our content is promoted. Because we as black YouTubers, even though we don't do tea channels, we don't do gossip, they lump us all in the same boat because we don't do, whatchamacallit. We don't do pranks. We don't create sketches and things like that. That's a separate community. They're still getting views. But us that do commentary content, they're stifling us because they look at us as the same as a Tasha K. Now, Here's the thing about that. Tasha K's attorneys, they would have to push all of Cardi B's criminal activities and alliances with criminals in that appeal. They would just have to focus solely on that if they want to successfully appeal this case. But still, they're going to have to pay those lawyers. The lawyers want their money. They want their money. The Cardi B lawsuit win, they're not going to push that because the appeals court, they're going to accept this because that trial is coming up with Cardi B. The outcome of the trial for Cardi B, whether she wins or loses or takes an appeal, is going to play heavily with the outcome of the appeal if it's accepted. But I think they're going to accept it. And that's my take on this. And with that being said, it's your girl, Miss Little Cole. I'm signing off. I'll be back with more content today. If you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. Also, hit the notification bell to receive notifications when I upload new content. Share, like, comment, and I'll be back soon. Later.